Welcome to my channel everyone. In this video we are going to talk about Render, TAO, Kaspa and ONDO. Things remain exciting, so make sure to watch until the end. And if you also want to trade with cheap taker fees, then I can recommend you the crypto exchange mexc. So there are most likely over 100 tokens without any kind of fees tradable. And here you can see some popular altcoins which you can trade without any kind of fees. For all of the other coins you still have to pay a low fee. And if you want to save there a 20% discount, then you can use my referral link, which you can find in the video description. So let's start with Render. So we had here our scenario that we are going to push to the upside, get into our targets, and from there have the chance to sell off. I'm going to take this out of the chart because this got invalidated. This was also just a speculation from my side. It wasn't based on any kind of breakouts. So if we look in the overall market performance of Render, it looks very impulsive. We have had our falling wedge, which broke to the upside. Target is still ongoing. It is the $4.21. I can also take out the trend line right here because this was a support trend line where I would have said if we break it to the downside, it's very negative, but look where we are. I can take this one out of the chart as well. I think it's not going to break. Otherwise, we have also said inverted head and shoulders formatation, broke to the upside. Least bullish target, $3.70. Most bullish target, $3.83. Look where we went. We overshot the target by far, so I can take those two targets also out of the chart. I have also tracked a small bull flag in the night, which also broke to the upside, so I can take this one out of the chart as well. So basically, we were hoping for a dream scenario. A dream scenario would have mean that we are going to sell off from here into the retest, and from there we can take a nice trade to the upside. And you can see if we would have got the retest, this could have been a very profitable trade within several hours, so we didn't even have to wait a couple of days for this kind of push. So now the chart looks very clean to me. Based on that information which we have right now, this one looks like an head and shoulders formatation to me. It doesn't mean that we have to break it to the downside. Just because we have a bearish chart pattern on the chart, it's not bearish at all. It would just get bearish if we break the $3.74 to the downside. Also, we always take the least bearish target. Over the time, it's also going to move. So basically $3.70, we have seen it in the past. It was quite a good support and resistance. So I can also imagine that once we break the price mark to the downside of $3.74, that we are just going to sell off into $3.70. So not even the whole length of the least bearish target. So Render looks very bullish to me. So in the end of the day, I still took my long position for Render because of this huge sell-off, which was based on the Israel attack on some Hamas members, or even a key leader position Hamas member in Qatar. People think that, let's say the market thinks, the media thinks that it's going to get more difficult and more war is going to happen in the future. I doubt it. I have talked about that in the Bitcoin update very detailed, and I also said it briefly into the Sui, Avalanche, HBAR and Dogecoin update. I will also do it very briefly right now, very short. So basically, in mid-June this year, Iran attacked a US military station, which is also in Qatar. Qatar has an air defense system, and the attack from Iran got successfully blocked without any kind of damages, without any kind of dead people. Nothing happened. Successful. The question which I'm asking myself is, it didn't work at this time, right when Israel attacked Qatar. The air defense system didn't work, or it was shut down. I don't know, but nothing happened, not even a reaction. I would have said, hey, if the system was online and it tried its best but failed and still the rocket went through, then I would have said, I don't want to say no problem. For sure, it is a huge problem. But then I would have said, look, they tried their best and it didn't work out. So now the political thing between those countries is going to get very difficult and we can expect war in the future. But since Israel also most likely talked to the USA, and the USA most likely gave the go for this attack and probably called Qatar and said, hey, Israel is going to do it, let them do it. That's why I think there's not much going to happen. I think, in my opinion, it was all planned. This is my speculation. What you see in the media is always, in my opinion, most of them is a lie anyway. It's just because of publicity. Qatar can't say, yeah, we allowed that and everything is good. They still have to do their statements like, hey, we are not going to participate in any kind of negotiations anymore, and we are very angry on that. But in the end of the day, in my opinion, there is not much going to happen more. So based on that, the market is a bit in uncertainty. What is going to happen in the future? Are we going to get more wars in the future, or is everything going to get good and we have peace? That's why we got the sell-off, and that's why it's a bit slow right now. In my opinion, it will take maybe a couple of days, maybe a few hours, and then I see the price up again. This is my current plan. So if I see the $3.70 breaking to the downside, that's why I will make this trend line red. Then I think it's going to get negative for a render. As long as we don't break this price mark to the downside, everything looks good to me. Next target, $3.93. If they break to the upside, $4.21. Also, we can expand. We have some fair value gaps over us, which reaches prices up to $4.46 for render. So there is not much to say. We still have the target ongoing. We also have another target of $4.50, which also would go good with the fair value gaps. So basically everything looks good to me right now. $3.70 is the key mark breaking to the downside. Like I said, I took long positions for every single coin because of this price dip. I used it because I still expect that we are going to see this in the near future. If we now look over TAO, then we can say, hey, we broke the $3.30 to the upside. Why that? Because this here was an inverted head and shoulders formatation which broke to the upside. The least bullish target was the 343 US dollar. Look where we went. We even overshot this target. Now we are getting in retracement, and the retracement can get a bit lower, so to $3.30, $330 in my opinion. I can first take out the least bullish target out of the chart. In my opinion, we are going to see the $357 getting hit very soon because of a fair value gap and because of the most bullish target of the inverted head and shoulders formatation. And yeah, in the end of the day, we also have the target of the bright blue falling wedge. I will zoom out. I will draw you that here. So this price movement here, falling wedge, broke to the upside, got its retest right now, and the chance is very high that the target says $420 is going to be the target. In my opinion, $404, there is a resistance, so this is going to get far more interesting in my opinion. For sure, I will take some profits at $355 US dollar. So I never get into the maximum extension. I will always take profits a bit earlier because we don't have to get into the target 100%. People are seeing that target, people are taking profits a bit earlier, and maybe someone who has a huge position size is going to take some profits where the price is going to drop, let's say 0.5%, and that can cause liquidation. So a domino effect can happen afterwards, and then this price never got hit and we just get here, and that would be very bad if we don't take profits a bit earlier. So I always say I don't care about a few percentages to the upside or more on my portfolio. For sure, if you think about that, if I always make 2% more than usual, then for sure over the time it's going to add up. But in my opinion, the risk for that, I have seen so many times that we didn't hit targets 100% perfect. Yeah, it happens often, quite often in my opinion, but not always. And the always is the thing. Like if I miss, for example, here is the target. If I miss the exit right here and the price is going to sell off, then my whole trade was a loser trade or a break-even trade. But it could have been if I taken profits a bit earlier, and if I say, hey, I don't mind about 0.5%, I don't mind about 1%, then it could have been a very good positive trade. So basically, that's why I always take profits a bit earlier. The price action looks good. If we look into the RSI, into the 50 minutes time frame, then you can also see we have bullish divergences. Here's a low, here's a higher low, here's a low, and here's a slightly lower low. Bullish divergence on the 50 minutes chart, so that can get us some short-term price movement to the upside. On the 1 hour time frame, we can still build a bullish divergence. That means that the price goes up. Meanwhile, the RSI goes up. Afterwards, the price is going to sell off, makes a lower low. Afterwards, the price sells off and makes a higher low in the RSI. So this can happen, don't have to, but we already see that on the 50 minutes chart, which I think is positive on the short term. As long as we don't lose the $329 to the downside, everything looks good to me. So that's why we make this trend line red. Yeah, I still look for higher prices for TAO. That's why I'm in a long position. So what about Kaspa? So Kaspa was a bit weaker at the time. So render was somewhere up here. It made very good pushes, like for example, TAO is still very, Kaspa is a bit slow, but if we just take it like this, what can you see, guys? This is a bull flag. So if I measure it right now, I don't want to take this target here, so I will take this one right here. Why don't I do it? Because this is such a huge wick and it's not accurate in my opinion. So if I just take it like this and I make it like this, I think this is going to work. So in my opinion, like I said, Kaspa is also long to me. I'm going to increase my position size once we break the 8.1 cents to the downside. To the upside. If we break it to the upside, then I'm going to take my long trade, and then here's another interesting price mark, 8.2 cents. Once they break to the upside, then I'm going to increase my position size as well. Price target is going to be the 8.5 cents. If we also break it to the upside, then the price mark of the bull flag is going to get interesting, which is the 8.87 cents. And afterwards, this is what I think is more realistic, 9.4 cents. Because we have seen in the past bullish chart patterns. Oh no, I have to take this one. This one right here to bright blue. We have seen in the past falling wedge, which broke to the upside. Target is here, 10.5 cents. Do I think that we are going to get there? No, I even have to adjust the target like this. So new target is going to be 10.2 cents, which is also very decent. Do I think that we are going to get there? Yeah, can happen, for sure. It can always happen. In an altcoin season, Kaspa can also go to $1, for example. Yeah, it is just an example. Not that I think that Kaspa is going to $1. But the chance of getting there, I think, is a bit lower. 9.4 cents is far more realistic, in my opinion, at the current market stage. If we build up so bullish chart patterns, so we can measure far higher prices, then for sure I'm open for that. Then I can say the target of Kaspa is at this specific price mark where the chart pattern is leading us. So basically everything looks good to me. You can see everything looks bullish, even though Israel shot a bomb to Qatar. Market is bullish. And this is always a good indication that nothing big is going to happen. Because, like I said, the chart is always not based on how we trade. Like, we are trading with small amounts. I have showed you on my channel a few days back that I'm personally trading with 1K initial capital, and I put leverage on that. That's why I make huge profits. But even if you have $100,000, even if you have $1 million, the chart which you see here is not based on you trading with 1K, 100K, $1 million. Those are the big players which make the charts. And they know many things in this world far better than we do. They have news which we never get, or news which we get several hours or days too late in the media when everyone knows something that's kind of interesting. You can't do money with news which everyone knows. You can only do money with news which most likely nobody knows. So if you know something which the market doesn't know and you are quite sure about it, then you can make money off it. If it's in the media, public, then you are not going to earn with that. You most likely lose with this. So since my battery is very low, I have to move on to ONDO real quick. Otherwise, I have to restart the video. So basically, ONDO looks good to me. Dream scenario, that breakout, retest at 91.9 cents. Perfect. I can take out the scenario where I've said 95.6 cents is going to get interesting, because if we lose that, we still have the chance breaking to the downside again and get a new low. So since we broke it to the upside, I can take this one out of the chart, this scenario. I still expect a pullback, but the pullback is not going to be that bearish anymore, in my opinion. We are too bullish, in my opinion. So 95.6 cents, you can see it, it is resistance. If we break it to the upside, then I'm going to increase my position size. I don't have a target at the moment. The target is $1.10 to $1.13. It is far too much, in my opinion. So basically, if I'm in an ONDO trade, then I have to look closely into the market structure. So if we are going to get higher prices within a rising wedge, yeah, I'm already into an ONDO long position. But once I see a rising wedge which breaks to the downside, then I want to get out of the trade. If I see, for example, like for Kaspa, that we get here some kind of a bull flag, and we break it to the upside, then I can measure new targets, and then I'm more confident that we are going to see higher prices, maybe into that area, and maybe even we have more chart patterns which leading us into $1.30. But so far everything looks very good to me. I expect higher prices, but to make the most profits of that, the chance is high that ONDO is going to see the $1.13. Yeah, this is currently the market stage. The market data tells me this is currently the highest chance. We have to wait. We have to look closely into new chart patterns, because we can use new chart patterns or resistance to increase our position size and to verify higher prices once they break to the upside. So with that said, we see each other hopefully tomorrow with some good profits. I have gave you today some good trading opportunities in my opinion, and maybe I calmed you down with the whole news thing of Israel attacking Qatar, and we have to see. We have to see, and to be the most profitable, we always have to rethink our analysis if the data gives us different informations. If we are bullish and the chart data is giving us bearish signals, then we shouldn't, or we don't, we don't, well, we shouldn't ignore them, and we must follow them. So with that said, we see each other tomorrow.